Hey, good morning. You always catch me drinking coffee and sipping before I start talking. Good morning. Hope you're having an awesome day. Today, we are going to talk about the fifth major cause of fear that affects us human beings. And it is, of course, the fear of old age. So, the fear of gray hairs, wrinkles, saggy skin and flabby arms, being out of shape. The fear of old age stems from, I guess, a couple of things. The fact that, excuse me, your throat gets foggy in the morning when you get older. It stems from a couple of things according to Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich. And again, we're discussing the top 6 fears according to Think and Grow Rich, just as an exercise and a reminder for me as a project that I'm doing with a team this year. And we've covered, the fear of poverty, the fear of criticism or what other people think of us, the fear of the loss of love of someone, the fear of ill health, and today the fear of old age. Now, the fear of old age is really connected to the fear of poverty because a lot of people are afraid that mankind or other people will take advantage of them when they get old and they'll end up in the poorhouse. It stems from the fear of the belief that they might lose freedom or mobility or physical ability because oftentimes as we get older, we have more health challenges. I actually am having less health challenges as I get older and work on my health and put myself and taking care of myself a little bit higher on my priority list. But for most people, it's just the reverse, or it's the time that all of the years of not taking care of yourself, boom, hit you like a ton of bricks, and you do experience ill health. So the fear of old age, what's the alternative? We're either going to get older or we're going to die. Now, the teachings and the things that we've inherited in terms of beliefs and things from society with respect to death are really, really scary for people. We're all threatened with fire and brimstone if we don't toe the line or behave in a certain way. Toward ourselves and toward other people and toward mankind and follow the rules, the religious rules. So that adds more pressure to the fear of getting older because we inevitably know that as we get older, we're eventually going to die, which incidentally is the 6th major cause of fear. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. But what are some symptoms of the fear of old age? Let's read what Napoleon Hill has to say. The commonest symptoms of this fear are the tendency to slow down and develop an inferiority complex at the age of mental maturity, around the age of 40, falsely believing oneself to be slipping because of age. The truth is that man's most useful years mentally and spiritually are those between 40 and 60. And again, that's his belief and estimation based on his experience and his research back in 1937. I think that modern medicine has extended the life period of mankind and womankind, and therefore we live longer than we used to, and we have more useful years than he is saying here. And I'm probably saying that because I'm going to be 58 this year, and that's pretty darn close to 60, and I don't want to think that my best years are over in 2 years. Could that be a fear of getting old or a fear of old age? Maybe. So what are some more symptoms of this? The habit of speaking apologetically of oneself as being old merely because one has reached the age of 40 or 50 instead of reversing the rule and expressing gratitude for having reached the age of wisdom and understanding. Now, I am totally guilty of that. I can't tell you how many times I say, oh, it's because I'm getting old, or I'm forgetting, or I can't remember this because I'm getting old. I am now going to take that out of my repertoire. Okay, I'm going to make a concerted effort to take that out of my repertoire. I suspect that I will still use it as an excuse if I don't want to go out to dinner or hang out with the kids or something. I hope they don't watch this. Next, the habit of killing off initiative, imagination, and self-reliance by falsely believing oneself too old to exercise these qualities. So, you start to believe that you don't have much imagination, or you don't have a creative tendency, or you don't have to or want to take initiative because you're too old. Do you recognize yourself in any of these symptoms? If you're 20-something, you probably don't. But if you're, 40 or 50 something like me, you probably do. And I know in the past I've used my age and my getting older as an excuse for a lot of things. Until I was 50, I used it as an excuse of not doing things with the family and the kids, like super active things. And mostly it was just because I was lazy and I didn't want to do them. I mean, versus just saying, hey, yeah, I don't really feel like doing that. It was easier to say, oh, I'm getting too old. That will hurt. I'm not going to do it. And then another one is the habit of man or woman of 40 dressing with the aim of trying to appear much younger and affecting mannerisms of youth, using the terminology of the kids than the way they talk today, which I don't even understand most of it. I have to ask the kids what they're talking about half the time in terms of some of the slang and things that they use. And affecting mannerisms of youth, inspiring ridicule by both friends and strangers. Now, that's a little harsh, but I think we've all seen or known people that do that. I will admit, I have worn piggy tails to the state park on a walk before. And not because I wanted to look younger, but just because I thought it would be fun to see people's reactions. And it was hilarious. It was hilarious. Someone in their 50s or mid-50s wearing piggy tails, and I have long hair. I just washed it, but I have long gray hair, and so it was humorous to see people's reactions. And it wasn't because I was trying to act or look younger. I'm perfectly content in my skin at this age, but some people aren't. I mean, if I was really, really worried about it, I'd go get a facelift or I would use some old age cream or something, but apparently it doesn't bother me too much. So I am grateful just to be here and still experiencing this life. So old age is not going to bother me. I know that I'm much, much wiser now than I was in my 20s and 30s and even my 40s. And I think that that's something, like Napoleon mentions, to be really, really grateful for and not worry about getting old, because we're going to do it anyway. Every single day, every single one of us that are still alive are getting older. So if it's something I cannot do anything about, I'm not going to spend any time or any energy worrying about it. Go out, make it an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow with the 6th major cause of failure. And I already said what it was, so it won't be much of a surprise. But that one's really inevitable, so I'm not sure why anyone's afraid of that. Anyway, go out. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.